Hello guys, in this video I'll be sharing my US visa interview experience with you. So I had my visa interview in Mumbai, so I'll be more specifically talking about what happens with Mumbai, and I'll take you I'll walk you through the entire process that I went through. So when you first reach at this US consulate in Mumbai, what happens is, say if the consulate is over here, there's a road in the middle, and then there is some other building over here, but then there is footpath over here. So if you have a car or something, they will not allow you to park, even keep the car for 1 second over here where the US consulate is. Okay, so this is the US consulate, the US consulate's park footpath, and then this is the road, right? So they'll not allow you to even keep your car for 1 second. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to keep your car over here on the other side of the road where there is the opposite footpath. There you can keep your car at least for some time, and all the people who are waiting, so my appointment was at 9:20 and I had reached at 8 o'clock. Because of Mumbai's traffic, I did not wanted to take any risk, so I reached at 8 o'clock. And what they do is, so for all those whose appointment is late, so I reached at 8 o'clock and my appointment was at 9:20, right? So I'm too early. So for all those, you'll have to wait here on the opposite side of the footpath, and as soon as it is half an hour before, so I was called when it was around 8:50 or 9 o'clock. Okay, so till then I had to wait over here and see the other people go in. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so as soon as it was 8:50, what I'll have to do is they will call the participants. So they will say that all those whose interview is at 9:20 come in, or come over here, come on the opposite side and wait. Okay, so when they call, you cross the road safely, then you go to the line. So there is a queue as well. Go into that queue, there will be a lot of people. So you'll have to be in a long queue, and then what they'll ask you is, they'll ask to keep your passport handy with you. No other documents, just passport for now. You will require all the different documents that you have taken for your visa interview. So for now, for the entry, you just require the passport. Okay, and there'll be a slip, there'll be a sticker that'll be on your backside of the passport when you went for your biometrics. Okay, so that is important. So when you go into the interview, you go in, so there he will first check, the person sitting will first check your passport sticker, and then he will type something, or I don't know what he does. So that will make you enter the US consulate building. So you go into the building, there you will be asked to sanitize your hands. You sanitize your hands, and you will be asked to keep your folder in a tray. So there will be a tray, you'll have to keep your folder there, and then walk through the metal detector. Once you walk through the metal detector, he will again scan your whole body. He'll ask you if there are any mobiles or any electronic items that you're carrying with you. So make sure you're not carrying with anything, not even a pen drive is allowed. So make sure you don't have anything. I just had my handkerchief, so that is okay. So I just had my handkerchief, my folder which has all the documents, and my passport. Yeah. So then after this is all done, you take your documents, you take your passport uh, and your handkerchief if you have, and you go out of this particular room or this building, and you go outside. So then it is like a garden kind of a thing, and there are some rows for sitting. So there are some 5 to 6 rows, and there are chairs placed over there, and there is a shed on the top. So you will be asked to sit in one of the rows and wait for your turn. Okay, so here you'll have to sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, depending on how many people are there before you. So I just observed one thing over here. So when you're sitting, this is all open, okay, you are outside, you're in outside, in an outside area, and there's shed on the top, okay. There you will see a lot of pigeons, I mean, a lot of pigeons will be there, you'll see them, okay. And I saw a lot of pigeon shit on the roads as well, okay. So make sure, I mean, I did not see a case when that dropped on somebody, but make sure that wherever you are sitting, just have a look above and just see if any pigeon is there on the top or not, okay. Because if something like this happens, it will make you conscious at that particular time, right? So that was one advice that I would want to give you if you are in the Mumbai Consulate. So yeah, so then there is this, you'll have to sit here for some 5 to 10 minutes, and then slowly what they do is they call out students row by row, I mean, call out whoever is the interviewee candidates row by row. So as soon as your row is called, the entire row will walk in a queue and then go inside a room where the actual interview takes place. So you'll see there are different counters where all these interviews are taking place. Meanwhile, a person will tell you to keep your I-20, your service fee receipt, and your passport outside. So these three things. Was there appointment confirmation? No, just the service fee receipt, your I-20, and your passport. These three things they'll tell you to take out and keep it handy. And then you'll go, you'll walk, and then there'll be a queue where there'll be an Indian, an Indian person who will be checking if your I-20 and your passport and whatever, all these things are correct or not, and your service fee receipt, are these correct or not. They'll just check once more, and then once that is checked, you will go into the queue which is for the final, the final queue where which will take you to the interviewer. And there'll be a person who will tell you go to this particular counter for your interview, and then you go over there. As soon as you go over there, there'll be somebody whose interview is already taking place, so just wait for some time, and as soon as he's done, the interviewer will call you. For me it was just like this, and then I went there. So I had a scholarship, a fully funded scholarship. So I'm going for a PhD program. So since I had a scholarship, he did not ask me a lot of questions. He just asked me which university am I going to, which program, which is my program that I will be studying, and who is funding. So when he asked me who is funding, I told me that I've got a scholarship. Then he asked me, did you get a full scholarship? And I said, yes sir, full scholarship. And then at that point of time he was like, okay. Then he just asked me a last question, that how much is the full scholarship. So I told him the total amount that is written on my I-20, and as soon as I told that amount, he was like, congratulations, your visa is approved. So for me it was that simple, touch wood. So yeah, if you have a scholarship, maybe it is a little simpler, but after all, confidence is the key, and you never know. So I had prepared a lot for for this visa interview. Almost I had almost seen different experiences, I had prepared answers to the different questions beforehand. And so questions I could hear some of the questions that were asked to the other candidates. So like for candidates who were funded by their parents or somebody, so for them they did ask, what does your sponsorer do, what does your, I say, if your father is your sponsor, what does your father do, and these types of questions. Then I also heard a question related to your work experience. How much work experience did you have? If you say okay, I worked in this particular XYZ job company, then they ask, okay, what was your role over there, what did you do over there. Okay, these are also some questions that I could hear. So these were some questions that you should also prepare. They also ask, how many universities did you apply to. So you should tell, if there, I mean, yeah, you should prepare for that as well. I mean, you should know all the universities that you have applied to. So for me, because I guess it was a scholarship and there was a long queue, I mean, there were a lot of candidates that have come for interview. So maybe, because I had a scholarship and then there were a lot of people, he did not ask me a lot of questions. But I'll still recommend you to please be fully prepared with all the different questions that the interviewer can ask you. And especially when I had gone, I did not see any rejection. I mean, all of them were selected. I mean, all of their visa was approved. So I mean, I don't know, but this was a positive thing that I noted when I had gone for an interview. So maybe Mumbai Consulate is lucky. I don't know. I cannot make any comments. But yeah, I mean, if you are in Mumbai Consulate, if you are confident, if I mean, I can just speak about Mumbai because I have just been there. And if you are confident, if you know the answers well, then that's all. I mean, you'll do it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then he told me that your visa is approved, congratulations. I thanked him, and he gave me the slip. I mean, there's this orange slip, I guess, yeah, that he gives me, and he takes my passport, and then I have to go somewhere else, give the slip to somebody. I mean, there's a person who will take my slip, and that's it. That's the whole interview process that happens in Mumbai. I mean, the whole walkthrough of the process is like this. And yes, also I also saw a lot of people who, I mean, not a lot, but at least there were 2 to 3 people who were also wearing sandals, jeans and t-shirt. I mean, I guess it is fine because they were wearing it, but I would not recommend that. I was in formals. I will put a picture of my somewhere over here so you can see that. And I mean, there were a lot of different people who had a lot of different dressing styles, but I would recommend you to be in formals, because it is however, it is perhaps a business interview or a formal interview, so you should be formally dressed. That is something that I feel. And yeah, that's all. That's my whole entire interview experience. And if you are waiting, I mean, if you are preparing for the interview, I wish you all the very best. If you have any questions related to interview process or something, you can put them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.